Hi guys, welcome to the flight this morning as we are down in Las Vegas. Ready to do a flight into LAX International Airport, and then we'll do a connecting flight down to San Francisco in lovely Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800. We've got the GTX Pro in, as you can see. The catering trucks are now leaving, passengers are boarding, and all we have to do is get the aircraft configured with the perf ready for our departure. We're going to be leaving out of Las Vegas on 01 right for the radar 12. We're going to transition at black, and then we're going to come in for the Reshade transition onto the Angel 4 arrival. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Leave your comments down below. We'll get inside the cockpit, start the aircraft up and ready for our departure, then we'll run through the checklist ready to go. So we are in the 737-800. So as you can see, obviously battery discharge, because obviously we was running everything through just on the bat. So we get the ground power in, external lights can go on, get the chimes, fasten seatbelts, get the one pump in for the APU, start the IRSs 1 and 2 to nav, test the flaps, which are checked, flight recorders checked, voice recorder can go on, window heats 1, 2, 3 and 4 can go in and set, packs can go to auto, isolation valves are open. Get the APU bleed open as well, ready for us to start. So we're going to go up for a flight level of 300. Landing elevation coming in onto runway 25 right is going to be 104, so we'll leave that at 100. Position lights are on, we get the APU started up, ready to go. Get our panel light in, which is all checked. Go down, get everything all in, get the panel lights lit up on the front center displays. Panel light for the FMC can also come in as well, which is checked. We're into the IRS position now. Dual FMC operations restored. Okay, so that's fine. Return that back. Go into the FMC. For the initial, obviously going to go Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra. Get from left GPS, punch that through. Then we're going to come into LAX, which is checked as well. Whoops. So Calais, and then we've got LAX, which will be our arrival. Coming out on the departure, we're going to be taking out on runway 01 right. If I'm not mistaken, 01 right is going to be out on the departure. Then we're taking the radar 2, transition off at black, so we'll activate that through. Just need to put the arrival in as well. So from there, from radar, we get the rest of the flight plan in, so just grab it up. So from radar we're going direct to Reshade, so it's going to literally be direct straight in. So departure, arrival, should so take the rider 2, then take the Angel 4. There's the Angel 4 transition. We're going to go from Reshade, whack that in, 25 left. From Cobra we actually want to go to Circus. Let me just do that one more time. 25 right, Circus, that's in. Go in and get the perf, load that through request. Transition 180. Should be going for flight level 300. Ace, my man, good morning, pal. How you doing, mate? Hope you're keeping well, my friend. Nice to see you. So perf's loaded. They want 280, we can take 280, it's quite short anyway. APU should be riding up. So we'll wait for that to come back. Should be okay. So we go to our N1 limit. Let's get our cost index as well. The cost index that we want today is going to be 11. Okay, we just checked. Don't know what's going on with the APU. Ah, there we go, that's starting up. Captain Spitfire, good morning, mate. Hope you're doing well, pal. Nice to see you too. So we'll activate that through, everything else is all good there. The cruise winds for today when we leave. Going for flight level 28, so that's going to be 322 at 109. That gives us an ISO of minus 38. Now I would have done the top cap performance as well, but I just didn't bother doing it. It's going to be pretty low anyway on the takeoff. Going to go for a takeoff 2, we'll figure out that glazing, and we'll go climb 1, which will be good for takeoff. Flaps 5, centre of gravity 6.21, 141, 143 and a 147. 147's in, flight directors are active, going up for 280. So I'll bug that in on the MCP altitude. Once we've got the aircraft fully configured, then we'll go through our preparation checklist ready to go. So that's us all there. Auto brakes, we'll go to RTO, we'll get that set up after, which are fine. Switch over the APU Gen 1 and 2. Your dampers can come on now. Electric hydraulics, get all of our pumps in which are checked, any collisions which can come in too. And I think the boarding is ready and set to go. So let's have a little look. Baggage loading's in progress, so he's loading up the bags. Okay, so they're getting ready. Just putting the bags on, etc. How are you, base? Doing a long haul, yeah? From Dubai to Japan. Well, as long as it's going alright, mate, that's the main thing. Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks, mate. Thought we'd take her out in the USA. And I haven't actually even flown to LAX in the simulator, so that'll be something new to see. I think all the passengers are boarded now. So catering's done, baggage is in service. Okay, so that's all done. Passengers are on. So we're just waiting for the baggage to come on, and then we'll be all ready to push back and get ready to leave. So whilst they're doing all of that, we'll go into Navigraph and we'll get that all in. Load up the flight, load a new one straight from SimBrief, LAX. Okay, which is through. Get the charts there so you guys can see. I've got it here on the iPad anyway, but we'll take a little look. There we are. So as you can see, we're right here. We're going out for 10 right, which is right here. So we could come straight down Whiskey, take a left on Delta, cross over 25 or A left, and then come through onto Alpha to line up. So that's pretty straightforward on the departure route. On for the SID for the Raider 5. Let me just find it. The Raider 2. So for the Raider 2 coming out of 01 right, we're going to make a left-hand turn, which will bring us all the way down to Raider 130. We're going to go to black, then from black we're going to transition all the way down, so it'll probably be to 11. But we've got the Scheidner arrival in as well, so we can take a little look at that quick. So we've got the Angel 4. Let's come in from the Angel 4. Now as you come down from Angel, there's Circus for the transition. Scheidner will be rolled through all the way down, and then at 280 at Glenson, below 300 above 24, all the way to Angel, and then we transition at Circus in for 25 right, which is just down here. Then for 25 right, we come straight down from Circus and follow it down 1900 feet from 3700. Minimum's 304 for 200, so 104 for the airport's elevation. And we are looking quite nice. So 3-degree glide path, missed approach point 2.1 DME from the India Charlie for short November, or follow to missed approach point. No, not bad. So just wait for these guys to put the last couple of bags on, and then we're ready to push back. Yeah, at least it works. I'm going to set the parking brake. For some reason when I load the GPU up, the parking brake's always off for some reason. It's off now, the chocks are on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the parking brake for when we set the tug, because I don't want that to go all wonky on us like it did last night. So there's one set of baggage done. This guy's putting on the last 2 bags, and then we're able to start our push. So it should be a nice flight. I haven't flown into KLX ever on the sim, so this will be the first time coming into LAX. There's the last bag. He can shoot off, we can get prepared and get ready to leave. let's see whose bag that is. There's a little bag. Oh, there he goes. Last bag going on. I think he's ready to go. So that door shuts. The door shut automatic, I'm guessing. There's the last one. He's off. Now we'll just wait for them to leave. That should be us all done. So let's wait for them to go. I'm going to set up the parking brake now. I don't want any wonky business that happened last night. These guys should be ready to go. Hopefully there isn't any more bags. So there we go. They're going. Cargo doors will shut. Okay, he's pulling back. Don't know what's going on over there. Who's that? Okay. So the aft stairs are gone, cargo doors are shut. So that's us all nice. So we'll go and get the Q&H's weather in for the departure out of Las Vegas. Las Vegas METARs are looking. Q&H is 2976, 2104, 10 statute miles broken at 7005, temperature 6, -2 on the dew point, broken and some scattered, so 2976. 2976, which is checked. We're practically all ready now for the pushback, so we'll go in and tell GSX that we are ready to go. So, press the pushback, ready for departure. Okay, he's waiting for other vehicles. Don't know who he's waiting for. We're waiting for the actual GPU, maybe. Yeah, just missed the GPU. Okay, there we go. Jetway's now leaving. Just need to go in and get our GPU off as we switched over now on the bus.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Super. Okay, close left door. Everything else is closed, and that's us ready to go.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Wicked. Okay, tug's going to line itself up now, ready to connect us.
Locking gear.
Super duper. So we'll do a custom push. We'll come out, push us back. We want to be coming out down onto Whiskey, take a left hand turn. So our runway's right here. Okay. So quick edit push. Can be a bit fiddly. Okay, I'll say that up to us there.
Release parking brakes.
Okay, parking brake released.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brake is released. So I don't know why it did this.
Release parking brakes.
We've released the parking brakes, mate. Don't know why it goes so dodgy for.
Release parking brakes.
Alright, calm down.
Release parking brakes.
Oh, she's going on a mad one again. Forget her. I ain't got time for her today. So we'll just reset everything back and just do the normal push out. Because I don't know why she doesn't do it. She doesn't like doing it for some reason. So we'll just go in, FS, pushback, chucks removed. Maybe it was the chucks. Who knows? Okay, straight left. Stand left nose to the left. We want to be going. And we're ready to start.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for push and start, tail to the right. Copy that, ready for push, tail right. Release brake brake, please.
Yeah, parking brake released. Should get some lovely views when we depart. Okay, go for engine number 2, ground, packs can go off, 1 and 2. Start valves open, N2's increasing. All pressure and temps come to life, 25%, we'll inject fuel and we'll see EGT start to increase for engine number 1 or 2. 3, 4 and 5, there's number 2 coming in. EGT now slowly increasing. Try and get rid of GSX. Don't want to work, they don't have to work. Okay, 56%, start to cut out, come back. Okay, checked. EGT now stabilising. And we'll go for ground for number 1. Okay, 21%.
Pushback complete. Parking brake, please.
Parking brake set. Engine number 1. Fuel is now in. EGT now climbing.
Steering pin is pulled. Watch for the salute and release from guidance on your right. Have a good flight.
Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye. So we're just waiting for engine number 1 now to come in and stabilise. We'll go through our checklist. I have the 737 checklist on me as well today, which should be very nice for us to go through. So, on our before checklist, we had the auto throttle, which was armed, which is checked. Left, centre, right fuel pumps, hydraulic switch were on, anti-collision light, which was set, parking brake, ground equipment was removed, and engine area was clear. There's engine number 1 now set and checked. Second display unit, which is engine, packs are off, engine start 1 and 2, which are all on and checked. So before taxi checklist, get the generator switched over 1 and 2, which is checked. Go over to Gen 1, get the probes on 1 and 2, packs can go to auto, isolation valve to auto. 1 and 2 for the bleeds, the APU bleed can go off, switch the APU off, engine start switches to continuous, and we're doing the cabin until we're ready to go. So flaps 5, which is going to come down. Auto brake can be set to RTO. Auto throttle's armed. Heading leaving out of 01 right. Let me get the charts up. 01 right is going to be 014. 25 degrees bank, which is set down on the MCP heading mode. And flaps 5 green light. So we'll do our before taxi checklist. So generators 1 and 2, which are on and checked, probe heats on, wing anti-ice off, engine anti-ice off, packs are auto, isolation valves auto, APU bleed is off with the APU, engine start switches are continuous, which are checked, flaps 5, which is set, elevator trim for the takeoff, which is going to be 6.21. Okay, which is also set and checked. Flight controls, free and correct, so we'll go and test them out now. For some reason they're not there. So we'll just do full left, full right, actually we'll do it outside. There we go, so we go full left, full right, that should be working. It's okay, it's because I've got it set up. With my outside view I've got the yoke, or the joystick set up differently. So we've got full left, full right, full forwards, full backwards, rudder left, and rudder right, which is checked. So before taxi checklist is set, then request taxi clearance and runway turn of flights and taxi as required. So that is us now all ready and set to go. As we said on our taxi, we're going to taxi straight out of Whiskey, which is going to be straight ahead of us, just over here, and then we're going to basically come in and do a left hand turn down onto Delta. So we're going to follow around. That should be all good for us today. So just leave it there like that. There we are, all set. We're all ready to go, and that is us ready to leave. So taxi lights, runway tunnel flights can all go on, 1, 2 and 3, and we are ready to go. So brakes can be released, it is checked, and we'll join them with the taxi line over there. It looks quite clear when we depart out of Las Vegas. Now take a left, come out of Whiskey. Then we're going to swing up left onto Delta. Delta will bring us all the way down to Alpha, which will line us up then for 01 right. So, lovely views in Las Vegas. So here's Whiskey. Clouds look nice. So we're just passing Zulu. And then we're left on Delta. So the next left we're going to take that is Delta. Just checked. Oh no, VNAV can be armed. You can either do VNAV before departure, if obviously if it's an R8, you can do the VNAV, or you can ride it up, flaps up speed, then VNAV will be engaged. So we're going to cross over the runway for 8 left. So clear left, clear right. Okay, Alpha's going to be this first right for us. Then we go to before takeoff checklist. No, it wasn't a far taxi at all, was it? It was quite straightforward actually, which is quite nice. It's not like when you're up in like Helsinki, Stockholm, you know, it's got quite a long taxi. That one where you got taxi all the way up to the end, and it's like, it's literally like goes on forever. It's like one straight line. It's like goes on for miles. So we'll stop here before the line, get everything all in. So we've got before takeoff checklist, parking brake, which is fuel flow reset and rate. Standard fuel pumps are off, de-ice off, cabin lights as required, flight instruments are checked, engine instruments are checked, takeoff data which we've got set, 141, 143 and 147, which is all there and set. And nav equipment is checked and ready to go. So we'll line up and get ready to leave. Strobes can now go on, ding the cabin, let them know that we're ready to go. So it's going to be a swooping right hand turn with 2,000, 5,000 above, so a continuous ascent up as we leave. Okay, runway 01 right, here we are. So we're all set and configured, ready to go. Landing lights which can go on and checked, and we are now ready to leave. So if you guys are ready, let's get going. So push forward on column, up to 50%. Stabilized and toga. Airspeed live. Check.
80 knots.
Check. Throttle hold. 100 neutral on the column.
E1. Rotate.
Rotate.
E2. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. So we're going to hold V2 plus 20, which is going to be 163. Then make that left hand turn straight over Las Vegas. Lovely. Gear can be up and off. Water brakes can be turned off as well. As the aircraft now starts to power itself up. There's climb speed coming in for climb 1. Then we'll just drop the nose down just a little. Now our aircraft to climb up through its speeds. Let's just pass it over Las Vegas. Yeah, it's a nice turn, isn't it? 01 right actually does a nice job of that as we just fly over Las Vegas. So speed check, flaps 1, trim down just a little bit just to get in down for the pitch. Okay. Level the aircraft back, let that come back for us. Okay, speed check, flaps up. So yeah, it was nice. That was a nice departure. 230, which we're going to need to hold now, as the aircraft's now going to pitch up to 250. Which is checked, and before we do that, we get our runway turn off lights off, taxis which are all off and checked. Oh, very nice. Okay, there's 25. Aircraft pitch up now, just to hold in. So we'll trim the aircraft out, just hold in with the flight director. Concentrate 6007. Got a bit of wind. But yeah, no, it's nice scenery. It's not bad in Las Vegas. I've done a few flights out of there. I've done a Spirit Airlines flight as well. I just did behind closed doors. It was quite nice. It was quite nice indeed. So it's quite stable. The winds are quite calm, leaving out on the departure. As we're now flying manually, we can switch into CMDA, which is checked. So LNAV, VNAV, which is engaged. After takeoff, checklist. Positive rate of climb, gear is up and off, which is checked. Auto brake, which is off. Engine start switches, which can go off. Runway turn off lights off and cabin lights as required. On for the climb out, we've got CMDA, which is engaged and checked. Altimeters, which will be set passing through 18,000 and below 10,250 knots. Landing lights will be off passing 10,000, seatbelt signs will be off, and centre fuel pumps as required. So after takeoff and climb out, checklist is done as well. As we leave a lovely Las Vegas in the Southwest 737. There are lovely views. There's 10,000 feet. We've got to our climb speed now. Fasten seatbelt signs can be turned off, which are checked. As we climb up now for flight level 280, so it's going to be a quick up and down motion. Once we leave there from Guidon, we 19 to 170. Okay, 170, which is in and checked. Passing through 11,006. Well, Las Vegas does have some nice scenery. It does. If it wasn't for Microsoft Flight Simulator, you know, we wouldn't have got this in X-Plane. That's the left-hand turn to 170 now coming in. We wouldn't have had this sort of scenery, etc. if we didn't have X-Plane on, if we had all those. It just wouldn't have, it just doesn't compare when it comes to the scenery of the simulator. You know, it's very well done by Microsoft when it comes down to this. Engine anti-ice, which can go on, which is checked. That's going to tell us the Glezin for 280. I think max is 280 for Glezin. So let's have a look. So Glezin is at 280, doesn't want to do 280 for Glezin. It's saying it's unable. 300, we don't want to be at 300, we want to be at between 24, so we might be able to get away with 275, let's see what that does. We'll see if we can take that in. So it's probably because of the descent rate, etc. that it's doing that. Got 190, so that is in there and definitely set. Okay, then from Glezin to Angel, so we'll put 260. See how that fares. If it can't, we'll play it by ear on the way down. So we'll just play it by ear. If we need the speed brakes, we'll open them up as well. Oh, absolutely lovely views. Passing through 18,000 now. QNH and go up to standard 1013, 1013, which is checked and set. There's our top climb just when we make a right hand turn, which will take us to 165 and then the 196 to Shudna. Try and get the GSX to, when we come into the airport, Terminal 1 is going to be for southwest. Once we leave off of 25 right, we're basically going to come all the way around the terminal onto the opposite side. So coming in, on for the taxi. So Terminal 1 is going to be right here, and that's where we're coming in, so we can pop that in, and on for the terminal bays. We'll try bay 14 and we'll see how that fares. So just flying over some of the cliffs. Nice scenery. Very nice scenery. A little bit of wing flex on our way out. Passing through flight level 200 now. There's our top of climb. And there's our top of descent. We can go and have a look at the flight plan as well, make sure that everything's all there, no discons or anything. So, going to leave through Blacker, then Scheidner. Then from Scheidner to Smash, and then all the way down into the runway. Circus is our transition once leaving. There's the runway there, 1900 feet at Folga, and then we start the descent down at 7.5 DME from the localizer. Missed approach point is 2.1 from the localizer as well. That is literally just straight land right now. As we leave lovely Las Vegas. So from Black the 165 to China, which is the 196. So we'll patch the 196 in on the MCP heading. If anything was to go wrong with the autopilot or anything like that, at least we can switch heading mode in. Like if LNAV jumps out, we'll switch heading mode in and we're on the right track. Okay, there's our top of climb at Scheidner. And then top of descent is going to reach in just for Gleason. So as we're at 2A. Get forecasting as well on the descent. So flight level 180. Get the QNHs in for LAX. So LAX is METARs. So we've got 29 at 8 and 9. If we hit that in on a conversion, okay, so 29 at 8, 9. That is what it was. Let's have a double check. Let's have one more look. So QNH was 29 at 8, 9 on the conversion chart. 29 at 8, 9, which is going to give us around 1012. So we've got 1012, which we're going for the QNH. Leaving 2A, go to 180, 80. Oops. 80, and we'll just put 3. I'm not going to mess about too much. Okay, execute that off. Go and get all the weather in as well. Tabs, good morning, mate. Hope you're doing well, pal. So we'll go get the winds in on descent. Through onto at 6A. Three two seven at 40. Then the arrival. 3304. Okay, that's fine. That's all in. Top of descent point. 1,000 to go. 280, which is checked. FMC just telling us for Gleason. We can open up the speed brake and slow that down. That's not a problem. So we go down onto the 215 now. 215, 25 degrees. Good stuff, mate. Glad you well. So I've got some lovely views here. Just before we get ready to start our top of descent. Top descent is merely going to be 54 nautical miles away, which in terms of 400. It's not going to be very long at all. 2048. So 7 minutes time we start our top of descent, straight back down. On decimal 683, so not doing decimal 8 on the mark. For where we want to come off on the runway as well, when we get down into LAX, so we're going to go for the 1-4 gate. So we want to come off of Hotel 5, well, high speed 9. If we come at Hotel 9, we can then cross through Lima all the way, then take a right hand turn back to Terminal 1. So Lima is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So third from last right hand turn. See if we can get GSX to work when we get down on the ground, so we can get some, get marshalling or something. See if that's there. I'm going to pre-arm the QNH, which is 2990. Okay, which is in and checked. So LAX is weather 2805, 10 statute miles, fuel at 22,000, broken at 28,000, temperature 1, dew point 2. Yeah, it's better weather today. Better than yesterday's, where it was all gloomy and grey. Looks quite nice. Cloud coverage will be fine on the way down, so that's not a problem. Temperature's 11 down on the ground at LAX right now. So we're going to get the ILS and the localizer frequencies all in, ready for the approach. So the India Charlie Foxtrot November, which is the 111.1. Okay, which is in and checked. Coming in on the course is 251, which will set on both sides. Okay, 251. Got the QNHs synced on both sides, so we don't have to do left and right. Just do the left, and the right will be pre-armed with us as well. So that should be nice. 111.1251, which is already in and checked. Get the fuel in 5.55, so that's 0.5, so it'll be 65 tons on arrival, which isn't going to change much. We'll do flaps 40. As I said, with the winds it's 5, so it'll be plus 5, so veer with 40, plus 5, which is going to be a 146. Top descent is now just currently at 29 nautical miles, not very far. Check the wings, got a little bit of wind now, just hitting the aircraft. See if GSS has reloaded itself. I just don't think it has, so probably not going to have the GSX. We'll roll down into Terminal 1. So for some reason that's just stopped. Oh well, we'll just have to leave that off. Which is fine now, 20 nautical miles, top of descent. Minus 18 currently. Then once we get down into LAX, we'll then do a turnaround and get ready to go to San Francisco. San Francisco should be really nice, coming straight over the bay. So it's just a little bit rocky right now, not too bad. Okay, for our cruise and descent preparation, engine and instruments are monitored, fuel quantity which has been checked, lights as required, before top of descent, ATIS airport information which we've already got set and checked, altimeter 2990, radios checked for the 111.10 onto the 251 degree course which is checked and set. FMC approach speed rev which is checked, VREV 40 plus 5 which gives us 146, loaded visor frequency which is 111.1, and the ILS course which we've got set 251. On the descent, de-ice as required, land altitude which is checked, get the recall in as well, so we'll leave that bit below the line just before we get ready to come down. So we'll be doing a few more flights in the USA, capture some lovely views. I've been in Europe for quite a while, so it'd be nice to get down here and see some different approaches. We'll go down into Washington, we'll do the river visual. Okay, so as the top of descent now starts to come in, we're going to start to lower the MCP altitude. I'll drop that down to 10,000 feet initially. As you see, the speed now is slowly starting to decrease down to prepare itself for the top of descent. As we say, engine anti-ice is on, so we're going to have 3% N1 thrust idle, which is going to be 3% higher as the aircraft gets ready to go. So fasten seatbelt signs can go on. As you know, get ready to leave. So there's retard, vertical deviation, left and right. On navigation will display in the PFD. That's pretty much your LNAV and VNAV profile. Right here, as we now leave out of flight level 280, flight level 24, as we can see, we need to be between below 300 and above 240. So the aircraft's now in its current descent. And passenger signs are all on, engine anti-ice which is on, Paxer auto bleeds are on as well. For the descent, de-ice is on and checked, landing altitude, we've got 100 for 1001, recall which is clear, radio altimeter and baro, so we'll get the minimums up for the approach. Minimums is going to be 304. Which is also checked and set. For 146 we're looking at about 800 feet per minute on the descent profile. Auto brake which is set for number 1, and then passing transition altitude, set the altimeters back to local, which is 29980, which is pre-armed right here. So that is us for the checklist right now. Let's get ready to go into LAX. We can see some snow right now, just over here. I'm just starting to cradle in. Passing through flight level 240. Have a little look outside. So the aircraft will hold 240, then its next restraint coming in from 240 needs to go down to above 19 and below 24. That's going to be for Angel, which is the start of the arrival. Broken clouds at 22,000 and 28,000, so there's our 22,000 mark right here. That's for Circus, unequal 270 at Circus. So if needs be, we'll open up the speed brakes so we can get a little bit more drag on the descent, as the aircraft's probably going to be coming in quite quick. But either way, we can figure that once we start coming near. That's fine. So required navigational performance 1 nautical mile, 0.6 for the actual navigational performance. Flight path angle is 2.3, vertical bearings 2.9, so it should be just a little bit under 1700 feet per minute. So that is quite accurate in X-Plane, the vertical bearing to the flight path angle in X-Plane 11. It's a little bit off here, but seems to be alright. 251, 251, and then 270, so let's have a little look at that. At 270 passing 14,000. Okay, so let's go 270. See if we can do that. 270. Try and keep it up to par where we're going. If it can't, we'll open up the speed brakes. It's not really going to be an issue for us as it passes through 21,000 or flight level 210. Yeah, something just goes wrong with it, mate. I don't really take much notice of it, to be honest. I don't know why it does that. BK, good afternoon, my man. Nice to see you, pal. Hope you're having a wonderful morning / afternoon. And how you been? You alright? Once we fly over 200 now. Wings are flapping away. Yeah, it's getting a little bit choppy. Okay, speed brakes just slows down a little. I'm going to go into that right hand turn, which is 240. Damage is checked. 3007. speed brakes back in. Nation go back over to 29990. And start switch is continuous. That was a little bit bumpy. A little bit bumpy. As we now pass through a can 27025, so it's just going to hold 25 all the way, I should imagine. We'll just tell it keep it there on 25. That should give us okay. That should be alright for us there. So back into VNAV path. Pass it through 17,005. As it gets a little bit jumpy. Should be a lovely approach though into 25 right. You can see the aircraft's now jumping away. If we had FS realistic, this would probably be jumping all over the place. That's great, BK. Glad you're doing well, mate. Yeah, you get them warm, mate. You get some gloves on. You get them under the heater. You get them nice and toasty. Just in time for the 25 right approach. So we're going to get on to TRA. 16,000, just passing over. 251, which is check. 240, which is in. We're not that far away now from the airport. Just going to make a right hand turn, and then that'll be us ready in for the arrival, dead straight in pretty much. For some reason GSX has decided to crash itself, so we'll leave that be. We'll get the flight recorder replay system in on the last flight for San Francisco. (150) just passing. Yeah, the follow me car, that's part of the GSX. So if you tell it to go to a gate, if you choose a gate that you want to go to set up all the vehicles and everything, you just tell it what gate you want to go to, and then it'll have all the vehicles there loaded in when you press it, and then it asks you, like you see yesterday, do you want the follow me car to basically take you there. I don't know what it was doing yesterday when it was trying to make us turn around. That was just a little bit odd. But yeah, the follow me car is with the GSX. It's a nice little handy piece actually. It puts all like the airline logos in, changes all the jetways in the airports. So it is quite nice. It's a nice little handy feature to have. Yeah, he's hungover, mate. Last night, yeah, he had too many drinks. You see how quick he arrived when he came to us. He was coming like the clappers when he got to us. It was like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? Nearly hit the aircraft as he done a 180 back round, and then decided to do a left-hand turn and go around us. So yeah, it was a bit touch and go with him last night. He's probably got a fat hangover today. So you can see terrain here. Highest point is 10,000, 5,000 below for the lowest point, which is in. Pass through 12,008, 10,000, get the landing lights on. Yeah, he's probably in bed today. He's probably feeling a little bit worse for wear, eh? 242 to 236. So 236, which is bugged in on the MCP. Got a bit of wind coming in. Slight left deviation now. Yeah, I don't know why FlyLive, when you're using FlyLive, it does make the overlay freeze on the speed for some reason. Not sure why that happens. It's done that since putting it in here, so I'm not really sure. We could use Sim Toolkit Pro. Could use that to put the new overlay in. I used it the other week. 11,007. Just passing over a little bit of haze here. Lovely views though coming down into LAX. Yeah, I'm doing great, thanks BK. Glad you're doing well, mate. I just passed 11,000 feet, 1,000 to go, landing lights will be chucked on, put the runway tunnels and taxis on as well, so they're already in prepared. When the speed drops down, obviously the throttles are in armed. In X-Plane 11 they'll be disconnected from the servos, so you could actually manually move the throttles. In this obviously you can't. So there is a threshold, a limit. That's how you can set it in the FMC to how many knots below your drop on speed, to then when the servos will kick back in and then start to power back up. I'm not sure if it's like 10 knots or 15 knots or something like that, and then the servos will kick back into FMC speed. There's 10,000 feet now, landing lights will all go on, ding the cabin, tell them to do the last walk arounds and prepare for arrival. So they will kick in, the speed tape's now starting to slowly move down. We've got 240. So they'll stay in the arm position, I should imagine. There's our right hand turn now, we're going on to the 252. It's also checked. There's the FM speed kicked in now, so the throttles are active. So we're getting nearer now, switch over the ILS frequencies. You can do it around 20 nautical miles. Outbounds from the airport, they should come in. So 31 knots blowing over from the right. Also through 9,003. Not very far now to go. As we now come over, ready to come inbound for 25 right. Speed brakes, which can be armed, temperature checked, and a little bit choppy. Okay, we're looking to come off of high speed 9. That'll lead us right onto Lima. Then we follow that down, take a left-hand turn over the back end for Terminal 1. Okay, there's a decel point, which I'm going to go 237, 211, then 146 for Folger. That'll be 1900, because we're going to be coming in on the approach. It's going to be 7.5 nautical miles, so what we can do in go into our fixed page. So minus 10 and 5. That should give us our rings. There we go. So by 5 nautical miles we should be fully established and configured on the approach. Checking out the approach now, just quick. Okay, so there we are now. Lead ourselves down onto the runway. So for 25 right. Going now just for music, 1.8 nautical miles. Once we get down into Shell, 3,700, which we've got set and checked. We can drop that down to 1,900. 7.5 nautical miles from the localizer. We'll start the glide slope down, and then we'll be coming in for around 800 feet per minute. Missed approach point is 2.1 nautical miles from the localizer, or Folger to missed approach point. So that is us all ready and set to come through. So we'll go through our approach checklist. Altimeters which are checked for 2990, which is set and cross-checked on either side. Localizer frequency for the 111.1, which is set and cross-checked on either sides as well. 251 for the localizer course again, which is set and cross-checked. The approach will be armed, and then once the glide slopes are live, will be geared down. So we'll stay there for now, and then we'll finish the rest of the approach checklist ready to go. Passing through 6005, airport's right in front of us. Ten nautical miles, we're going to flaps 5. So, cabin crew, take your seats for arrival. A 5005, just leaking over 250, 233 for fault. There's the decel. Speed brakes can come in now. Speed tape's going to start dropping. Engine anti-ice now can go off over 10 degrees. And there's localizer, etc., which is all in. There we go, so I've got flaps up, so a clean speed. There's a runway in sight. Then from Fallon to 1009, we'll be at 3007 for Falk. Ten nautical mile ring, drop flaps 5 in. Okay, flaps 5. Speed brake can be armed again. Under 210 on the 700 and do flaps 10 if we really need to. Okay, get the localizer in visual capture. A210 flaps 10. Glide slope's right there for 2004. So single channels in, glide slopes there. So I'm going to lift us up now. Okay, flaps 15, gear down. Throttles will power up just a little bit to compensate the drag. Coming in for 146, so the approach, glide slopes alive, gear down, which is checked, flaps 15, speed brakes armed and set. Second autopilot who's doing a cat 2 or 3, engine start switches continuous, which are checked, and we'll get the landing flaps, which will be set as well. Over 5 nautical miles need to be fully established. Flaps 30. And we've got 146. Minimum is 304, 101. And landing checklist. Go around altitude, which is set. Runway tunnel flight switch are on. Landing gears down and checked. Autopilot and auto thrust as required. So we are now ready to go. Coming in for around 800 feet per minute. On the approach. So let's bring her down. Autopilot and auto throttle is disengaged. I have controlled the aircraft now. Okay, staying for 146 on the speed. Around 800 feet per minute on the glide slope. Okay, minimum's passed.
50, 30, 10.
Okay, speed brakes are up. And reversers are active. Any knots reversers can be stowed. 60 knots manual braking as we're going to come off at high speed 9. Thanks BK, glad you enjoyed it mate. Okay, so all the brakes are disarmed now. We're going to come down around the bend of high speed 9, so we can just taxi off of here. We're going to go around to Terminal 1. So we'll just configure the aircraft, get us all cleaned up. So flaps can be fully set back. We'll hold here at the hold short. Speed brakes can be set back in. Runway tunnel flights didn't get back in anyway. Strobes can go to steady. Landing lights can go off. We'll clean the rest of the aircraft up as we taxi on round. Thanks Captain. Glad you enjoyed the arrival my man. So as we go back on to Navigraph, and let's go and get ourselves all ready for the route for the taxi round. So we're going to take a left hand turn here. Just coming off of Charlie 10. Flaps are fully set back. We'll clean the aircraft up in just a moment's time. Then we need to go around the back to Terminal 1, so I'm not sure if GXX is going to reload itself. If it is, then we can go to stand 1-4. We'll have a look and see if it is. There we go, okay. So, let's see what it's got here. There's 1-3. 1-3 is what we can go to. 1-3. Yeah, we can go to 1-3. Okay. Follow me. The follow me car should come. We'll select the operator, which is going to be southwest. We're going to be turning right down here, I think. That's going to be us turning right. There's Charlie, Kilo. We can do Kilo right here. Whether he comes or not, that's entirely down to him, but we'll continue the taxi round to stand 13. He can catch us up. So down to the end, off the end of Kilo, take a right hand turn and that'll lead us to Terminal 1. So everything else set. So runway tunnel flights, taxis which are on, engine start switches which can be off. 1.5 minutes after arrival, APU can now be set and checked. Whether the follow me car comes or not, that is down to him. Don't know where he's going to be. But we know where we're going anyway, so they should be there. Be on the outside. Wireless frequencies switched back off, which are checked. Flight directors can both be set off as well, which are set and checked. And we just got to get the auto brake turned off as well. Okay, so that is us, all nice and ready to go. So we need to go down Lima. I don't know why it's taking us that way. We want to be going down this way, so we're going to carry on going down this way. But yeah, no, I hope you guys did enjoy the landing. Get the APU switched over, and then once we get back to the stand, we'll do our turnaround and get the aircraft all ready to go back to San Francisco. It should be very nice. Terrain radar can be turned off as well. So let's see if we can actually get the radar to work, and see if we can get the ground to actually work as well. So take a right here onto Delta. That will follow us all the way down. It's around the opposite end. So let's hope they're there. If not, we'll park up and then disembark the aircraft. So this is Delta. Our first left to right is Delta. Terminal 1's right at the very end. And hopefully they are all there. So we're going by the Navigraph charts for the parking stands. As it stands on here, as I'll show you guys, stand 13, or the gate for it. 13 is right on the end. Let's just line up. So stand 13 is right there at the end, so we follow it all the way and go into Delta 7, which is the last turning, so we follow it all the way in, and that is where our guys should be waiting for us. Oh, there's follow me car. It's not that way though, mate. I don't know where you're taking me. I'm going onto the runway. So it should be right around the bend, just round here. so I think we're all there. Find out in a minute. Yeah, it is, mate. It is indeed. Hey, so let's have a look. Where are the guys? There's our guy there. Hey, so he did work this time. There's our lovely little marshaller. Do need to see you, mate. I'm gonna run you over. Alright, we'll say that's enough there. There we go. Okay, so you can carry on flapping, we'll stop her there. Switch the APU over, 1 and 2, the APU bleed in, which is set. Engines can now come off, 1 and 2, which are set. And we are now ready to disembark. Capacity boarding. That's catering service. Okay. So, don't know why that's gone over there. Don't know where he's going. What's he going over at the back? What a madness. Don't have a clue what happened there. Got a wing coverage from the back. Rest in peace wing, I think actually. We've just cleared it. So it's not actually even rest in peace wing. Maybe with the back bits that run through it, but there you go, it's a sim, isn't it? So it's not going to be perfect. Everyone's doing a bit of high flying there, so I don't know what happened there. So yeah, I think you're right, rest in peace wing, and you know, we've got some high flyers here. So let all that get on and do what they got to do, and then we'll be back to do the San Francisco in a few minutes' time. Okay, so we've got the aircraft ready for its final set leg. What we're going to do is I'm going to load up here. GSX we won't use GSX coming out, we'll use it coming back in, as it does act a bit funny on the pushback. So with the doors and everything open, don't need the overwing open, close that. So as we check the fuel plan and everything coming out, let's just get that up for San Francisco. So fuel we're going to be doing for 6.1, we can have a max of 8.8, so I'm going to put 7.8 in, which we'll leave there, 7.8, 6.1. We checked 1.7 is going to be reserves. And for the payload, we've got 182, takeoff weight is going to be 66, so put 175 in, and we'll leave it as that, which will be fine. Don't need to put the IRS in, which is already set and checked. We get the yaw damper back in, get the window heats back on, 1, 2, 3 and 4, packs can go back on, isolation valve can go open, the APU bleeds on as well. We're going to be going for a flight level of 300. Okay, which is checked. San Francisco, which is also in. On the departure route, we're going to be taking the Summer 2 for stocked. 25 right, 25 left, sorry. Summer 2, transition for stocked. On for the routing then, from the transition, we're going to be going direct to Surfer. Then from Surfer, that's going to be the arrival in for the Surfer 4 RNAV arrival. Transitioning off for Eddie. Okay, activate that up, that's the routing done. Go to the perf, request that. Cost index going to be 44. Strobes are steady, which is checked. APU's all on and good. Load that through. Cost index of 44. 300. Okay. Cruise is going to be 314 at 99. That's going to give us our minus 44. Okay, so that's already there. Takeoff, climb again, takeoff 2, climb 1, in for takeoff. Perhaps 5. Don't know where our speeds are. So I'm not sure why they're not there. Don't really have a clue. So everything's all in there. Takeoff 1 and climbs all in. So I'm not sure why. There we go. 141, 142, 147 for V2 plus 20. That'll be 167. Leave it out for 300. Don't know what was going on there. Okay, 300, which is checked. Flight directors can both go on, which are set and checked. All the doors are now closing. Catering's coming in, let them do their thing whilst we get all ready and configured to go. So 299 is 0, and Barra can be turned off, which is checked. And set. 616 on the trim, which will reset just before we get ready to push. TRA can go to TA. And that's us all ready to go pretty much. So we're just waiting for the catering, and then once the catering's finished, wings nearly been writ off from the jetway, we can then push and go. Flight time San Francisco in the air is 1 hour and 3 air time. Scheduled flight, so yeah, 1 hour and 3 minutes should be. Go in and close the main doors. Left can be closed, forwards as we let the catering do what they got to do. Okay, so as we are ready to go, we'll close these doors off. We can reset the GSX. Okay, that'll disappear all of that as we're ready to go. Engine instruments can come on as well, which are set. Electric hydraulics, which are on, and we can now get the aircraft ready to leave. Make sure the cargo doors are shut as well. Okay, shocks are set. Standard L. We'll be looking to the right. That will start out.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left.
251 leaving out.
Roger that. Ready for pushback. Tail to the left. Release brake, please.
Okay, parking brake, which will be released. 299 is 0. Parking brake set.
Brakes released.
Okay, packs are off. Isolation windows open, APU bleeds on. Anti-collision lights are on.
Brakes released. Here we go.
Yeah, you know them ones. I have to blame GSX for that one, mate. Ground for number 2. Start valves which are open. N2's increasing, oil pressure will come to life again, 25% with injected fuel. We'll see EGT start to increase. Okay, 25, number 2 coming in. EGT is now increasing. Auto brakes be RTO. So we're going to pretty much take the same route that we took coming back. There we go, right the other wing off. We'll have to thank the PMDG pushback for that one. So we'll leave him here. There's start to cut out back. Number 1's coming in.
Pushback complete. Parking brake, please.
Okay, parking brake set.
Brake set.
25. Fuel's in.
Steering pin is pulled. Watch for the salute and release from guidance on your right. Have a good flight.
See you soon, bye bye. So he put us in a complete position, didn't he? EGT's now up for number 1. Trim's going to be 6.16. 56%, start to cut out back, which is check. We'll switch to Gen 1, 2 over to Gen 1. Perhaps and go to auto. Isolation valve auto bleeds with the APU bleed off. Engine start switches are continuous. APU can be switched off as well. Ding the cabin. Let them know we're ready to go. 300, land elevation in San Francisco for 28 right. It is going to be 13, so we'll leave that to 0. And we can get ready for our after start checklist. Okay, so full taxi checklist, generators 1 and 2 are on and checked. Probe heats, which can go on now, 1 and 2, which are set. Wing anti-ice is off, packs are auto, isolation valves auto, APU bleeding, the APU are off, engine start switches are continuous, elevator trim, which we've got down, which we said was 6.16, and flaps 5 can come in as well. Okay, that's set. Elevator trim, we'll set the controls, so full left, full right, full forward, full backwards, rudder left and rudder right, which is set and checked. Recall, checked, low display unit off, and we are now ready for a taxi. So, we're all ready and set to leave. Let's go in and check out the taxiway. we're going to roll through. So we can release parking brake, now we're ready to go. Well, we don't waste no time, mate. Southwest Airlines, they should be getting a promotion. Literally boot them off, boot them back in, get the seatbelts on and we're off. So I'll take a left, go back down Kilo, follow it all the way down and then swing back for 25 left. Oh yeah, we don't waste no time, base. We don't waste no time at all, mate. We've got 320 nautical miles. We've got on this journey 300 nautical miles, so we'll probably be landing around just around the same time as you, just about. Give or take the 20 nautical miles to taxi round whilst you're still doing your lovely cruise. We'll probably meet you down on the ground just about the same time, mate. Once we get to 25 right, we're going to cross over at Bravo. That'll lead us for 25 left. So yeah, we'll probably make it down in San Francisco, just around when you are as well. Oh yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. We won't see you, but we'll definitely be hitting the ground around the same time. Yeah, we're going down to San Francisco now. So I'm going to take a left here on Kilo and then just ride all the way down. So yeah, one more leg straight to San Francisco. Switch the flight around. Okay, that's all good. Yeah, so we're going to take the 28 right arrival in. So we should get a lovely view of the bay, the bridge as we come over. That should be very nice to see. I like San Francisco approaches, they're really nice and scenic. We'll get the flight recorder replay system as well in for the last arrival. So we'll come out of Kilo, take the second left. Second left onto Bravo. we're going to cross over, second from last right, which will take us onto 25 left. So we'll cross over 25 right, and that will take us over onto 25 left. As we wave bye to LAX. Okay, so there's Bravo 7. Once we pass Bravo 2, that's our crossover point for the next right. So cabin crew, take your seats for departure. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, the mods do make it a lot nicer. I've had a little go in the 747. It's not too bad. It's not a bad aircraft. You know, it's the best we're going to get until PMD releases a 747. So we've got our before takeoff checklist. We've got fuel flow pump, so we'll get it all done just as we're crossing over. That should be quite nice for us. Yeah, just going past Bravo 4. Yeah, they did say that they are going to bring out a 777, but probably not till like the end of next year or something like that. So 777 is in the works, and they did say about 747 will come out eventually, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. There's Golf just passing by. Third right, we're going to cross over. So we'll put the strobes on as we go over the active runway of 25 right, which we just come down in. Okay, here's Bravo 2. Now next right is where we're going to go in. Yeah, the 737-900 is going to come out. They have got it there ready. 777 would be nice to have a proper 777. Okay, so here's our crossover point. Get the strobes on as we cross over the active runway. Okay, we're all here now, ready to go and line up. Here we are now, 2.5 left, brakes are on, we're doing our before takeoff checklist. So we've got a parking brake which is set, fuel flow reset, and then rate, which is checked. De-ice is off, cabin lights, flight instruments are checked, engine instruments are also checked, V1 rotate, and V2, which is 141, 142, and 147, V2 plus 20 will be 167 on the climb out. Nav equipment is checked, rest takeoff clearance, which we have got, landing lights, which can go on and checked, strobes are checked, transponder TARA, which is also set and checked, traffic, which is on, and we'll set the clock where we are ready to go. So, push forward on the column now, power on up to 50%. Stabilized, and toga. Airspeed live. Check.
80 knots.
Check. Throttle hold. 100 neutral on the column.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate.
V2. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Okay, it's V2 plus 20, which is 167. Okay, gears up and off, no lights. Auto brake can be off, gears up and off, which is checked. Pass through at 1500 feet. Nose down now as we go to climb 1. As the aircraft now starts to accelerate up. Okay, which is checked. Speed check, flaps 1. When we turn off, taxi lights can also go off, which are checked. Swing into the right hand turn. Okay, speed check, flaps up. As now hold for around 230 up to 250. Okay, CMDA can go in, which is checked. Oh, we can see some lovely views now. Takeoff comes up. Yeah, I know if we had the 777 it would be really nice to see if we had that 100%, mate. Would be nice. So climb out and after takeoff, positive rate climb, gears up and off, auto brake is off and checked, engine start switches which can go off, which are also set and checked, gear levers off, runway tunnel flights position off, and cabin lights as required, which is also set. Climb out, CMDA is engaged, altimeter set, passing 18,000, below 10,250 knots. After 10,000, landing lights, fasten seatbelt signs will be off, centre fuel pumps, which can be as required. So just passing through 6,000 feet now, as we leave at lovely LAX. Oh yeah, definitely be taking the 777 out on some nice flights, 100%. Yeah, the 737 has nice engine sounds. I like the 737-200 engine sounds. They're more aggressive sounding. So just checking now on the track, 258 to 260. Okay, so we're 260 in this area, so we're going to cross the path, passing through 8,500 feet. Then we go into that right hand turn. Check for any discons as well, which isn't there, which is fine, lovely for us today. and we'll go in and get the new routing as well. So we're coming in on the Surfer 4, transitioning at Eddy. It should be there, the Surfer for Follett, and from Follett got the approach in for 28 right. So out from Archie to Dunbar, it comes all the way through. So we'll check that all out once we get near 3,000 feet for seeping. Okay, which is fine. As now past 10,000 feet, aircraft goes up to its climb speed, landing lights can now be turned off, cabin can now be released. Okay, and I'm going to go through the flight plan and have a look at that as well. Okay, it should be Eddy. There's Follett. We ride it all the way in, so that's fine. It's all in and correct. So weather hasn't really been too bad today on this flight. It's been a little bit choppy, just with a little bit of air, but the winds and clouds have been quite nice. You know, quite fair, not too manic. Maybe on the descent there was a little bit of jumpiness, but apart from that, it was a very relaxing flight down. Definitely lovely. So 300 we got checked on the MCP altitude, so mode control panel, which is right here. Going to be taking a right hand turn to 313 from 290, so 290 will be our next right turn to Olof, and then 313 to Risen, which is just past on the navigational display to Risen. There's our top of climb, which is just roughly about 60 nautical miles. So not very far for our top of climb. Our top of descent is in 185 nautical miles. So I'd say in around 30 minutes time. 290. Which is checked. Passing through 15,000 feet. Oh, that's the best time, when you get all booted around in the aircraft. It looks really cool when the aircraft's getting rocked around. Probably not for the passengers, but I need to get FS realistic so we can get a little bit more air turbulence, shuddering. As we had XP realistic in on X-Plane, I didn't bother getting FS realistic on here. But I am going to get it soon. 290 for the 313 for Razin, which will be passing through 18,004, which is all calculated up. 313, which is checked, and +7 now. We get the engine anti-ice, which can go on as well. That'll give us 3% less N1 power. Yeah, I thought they was. I thought they was going to do something like that, but when I looked at it, like it's like 33 euros for it, and I was thinking, nah, like I bought FS Realistic, and now they want like nearly 35 euros just for like the same product, but just on another platform. You know, I thought, nah. I don't blame you, base. Same thing here. I was like, nah. It's not happening. Not yet, anyway. It's practically the same as XP Realistic. There's not really anything different. And they ain't giving you no discount because you had XP Realistic. So what's the point of it? What's the point? You know, you're paying for the same product, but just on a switchover for another SIM. You know. Oh, that doesn't work out. Okay, so for Surfer. From Surfer we got Niri 280 flight level 200 above, which is in. Then we got Wabs 280 below 19 and above 15, 28, which is going to be below 15 and above 10,000. Then we've got Folic, which is at 240 8,000 above. Then we've got Eddie coming in for the transition for 28 right. So there's Eddie for our initial approach fix, which is for 6,000 feet. Then we get to Sepin, or Sidby, which is the initial approach fix. Our initial fix is for Sepin, which is for 3,000. Axel, which is going to be for 1,800 feet. That's where we're going to start the glide slope, 7.4 DME, 1,800. All the way down, missed approach point 2 DME from the localizer or Axel to missed approach point, and our speeds will pretty much be right there. So Cat 1 213 for 200 as it's 13 foot elevation. As we now fly over lovely San Francisco. Yeah, they should do. You know, even with Ionite builds, you know, they even gave you a discount. I think it was if you had one of them, you got a discount on the other, or something like that. It was one of the Sims, one of X-Plane's add-ons. If you had one, they gave you a discount for the other one. They gave you a discount. That was it for the A300. If you had the A300, you got a discount on the A310, or it was the Beluga, one of the two. You know, at least they actually did a discount. But with FS Realistic, it's like I've already had it in X-Plane. You know, it's alright if you've never had it before. Yeah, it's a good purchase. It still is a good purchase, but not if you've already had it. You're just paying 33 euros just to switch over into a different sim. You know, it's quite cheeky. Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you at all. I'm in the same boat as you when it comes to that. Not really feeling it, to be honest. So, a little bit of wind, 105 knot headwind, as we come up to flight level 2804300. Yeah, that's what it is, it's a duplicate Addon. So 28. getting a little bit choppy now. It's just come over the coast, entering back in. Let's go on the cruise, 796, go to decimal 8. On descent. Back down. Super. And let's stop a descent. 138 to go. And flight level 300, which is in. 300 split. Carriage is checked. Nah, they won't have a bar of it, mate. They don't care. They ain't gonna be bothered. And even if you messaged them, you'll probably get a crappy response back, or you probably wouldn't even get no response back at all. So top of descent is going to be around 130 nautical miles. Not very long at all. Been in the air for around 15 minutes now since takeoff. So the aircraft now is in its cruising phase, still in VNAV path. LNAV's engaged. FMT speed to hold for decimal 80. As it is getting a little bit choppy. 124 knot winds. Yeah, I know, mate. It's because new sim. So now it's basically another money earner. That's what it is, pretty much. Cool, it is getting a little bit rocky here. I have to put the fasten seatbelt signs on just for now. That was a little bumpy. 100 nautical miles to go. Or 120 just passing. So it's getting very choppy now with the winds. Got to update the forecast as well, so that'll be a good idea, because we don't want to go overshooting on the top of descent. It will send the VNAV profile for vertical deviation on quite a rapid descent if the descent isn't calculated. So we'll do that in just a moment. Yeah, I don't think they'll do anything about it. You know, it's not like anyone's done any like copyright or anything like that. It's just a case of, well, there isn't really much we can do about it. It's just one of them cases. You know, I probably will get it at some point, but not just yet. Not just yet, it's a bit too pricey. In my opinion, it is. So the METAR's coming in for San Francisco. Get them all through and in. Come from 300, 200, 100, and 5. So 10 statute miles. Winds are calm, broken at 15,000, temperature's 11, dew point 5, 29 at 8.9. So we can put that in now. Okay, 29891012. And we'll get our descent winds. Descent winds are going to be 295 at 30. Which is checked. 309 at 32. Okay, and winds at 280 at 5. Okay, so that's all good. Top of descent will be recalculated now. And we are just around 90 nautical miles away from our descent. It's quite choppy up here today. Yeah, I totally agree, Base. I do agree with you, mate. I know what you're saying. Oh, very, very choppy. We're roughly about 90 nautical miles now, top of descent. Yeah, I remember when headshake used to be about. They used to be a good little tool, that did. Used to be really cool. So the weather forecast is all in and checked. There's nothing here on the discons. No for 20019 down to 15,000. And a break off 1800 for Absol. That's where we start the top of descent. It's about 7.5 nautical miles. Can also get the fixes in as well. -3. That's all checked. 213 for a 200-foot decision. Which is also checked. And coming in for the ILS, which we've got here, the 1170 for the 284. 284, which is in. Yeah, we was just chatting about that Spitfire. I was just saying now, like with the XP Realistic, like they want another like 35, 33 euros just for like the same product, just to switch over into FS. You know, it's a bit pricey, in my opinion, especially if you already had the first one. We'll get it at some point, but probably not just at the moment. So, top of descent, we are looking 67 nautical miles, 22:26, so 11 minutes to go until we start to bring her down into lovely San Francisco. Seatbelt signs can be turned off now. We're over the rough part of the weather. We've got 121 knots coming in front of us. It's going to be a little bit choppy either way. So we're still currently heading on that 303 track, 305 now, and then we go to Surfer for 311. So just tiny minor increments of right hand turns. We'll get the flight recorder replay system in as well, so don't go anywhere when we land, as we'll get the cinematics for runway 28 right, which should be absolutely spectacular seeing that coming in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and join the community. I'm always doing real world operational flights. This flight here would have been done with Southwest in the 700. Alaska does it with the 800. Got pre-armed the Q&H's, which are going to be 2989. 2989, which is set cross-checked, and we are looking around 40 odd miles now to go until we come down. Got some clouds in the area. There we come straight over the bay, make a left-hand turn, cross over the bridge, and into 28 right. The aircraft getting chucked around quite a lot. Okay, 311 213 for 200 foot decision, which is set on the minimums for the MDA. As well, 13 foot elevation down in San Francisco. The aircraft's fully configured now. Filter rate number 1, configure the fuel port arrival, so 4955, which is 0.6, so it will be 64.3. Okay, and we could come in nice and hot on the 147, create less drag as well for us, so that might save us getting chucked around a little bit. The winds are calm, so that'll be a 152, so we'll take auto brake number 2 for that. Top isn't reaching. I'm going to plug in SEP in for 3,000 feet. Okay, which is checked. Go and have a look at the parking stands. Could go anywhere really. Got cargo, airfield. Okay, so we're just under 40 nautical miles till we start to come down now. So before top of December, we've got the ASUS information which is checked. Altimeters which are going to be set for 29889, which is set and cross-checked. Radios which are already set up and ready to go. Reset the MCP altitude down to 3,000 feet. Localizer frequency, which is the 111.7 cross-checked, and the ILS localizer course, which is the 284, which is cross-checked as well. From there, we can't do no more now until we're actually in the descent phase, and then we'll start the descent checklist as we come down with the de-ice, which will be as required. De-ice is going to be on through the descent phase. 119 knots now, just moving through from the west. So let's get the passengers all ready and set to go. Seatbelt signs can now go on. Get them prepared. It's a little bit bumpy. It's rolling through the top layer of the clouds. Okay, 80 nautical miles to surf, then we just take a slight deviation to the right to 315. 315 all the way down till we get to Epic, which will take us to 334. Wait till we get down on the ground. That should work then. Okay, so just before our top of descent, you're going to see the speed window slowly decrease down just to compensate. We're going to go back to 796 on the mark. That will compensate really for the top of descent. As soon as you pass the top of descent mark, we'll see the vertical deviation point for the VNAV profile pop up here. We'll see that pop up right here, magenta, and then you've got the LNAV deviation right here. So pink, magenta, deviation, and that's where the aircraft's going to follow the VNAV path. If it dropped into speed, it will follow the speed, forget the altitude. With VNAV path on, it will follow the altitude and forget the speed. So you'd need VNAV path if you was doing an RNAV approach, as it needs to follow the altitude constraints. So before you start the approach for the RNAV arrival, you would make sure the aircraft's fully configured, so then the aircraft can follow everything down and make sure that it's in VNAV path. If the aircraft skips out of VNAV path, you can go into vertical speed and capture the vertical deviation, then switch back to VNAV. That will take it back into VNAV path mode. So there are other ways of if you did jump out of it. So top percent just coming, you can see the speed drop down. It might not, as we're going to be doing Mach decimal 796, so it might stay the same. .311 to 315, which is set on the track. Recall, which is clear. Tell the cabin that we're coming down. Okay, there's a speed just slowly dropped. Now the top of descent point's going to come in. There's that slight right. Sticks to 315. About 80 nautical miles away from your top of descent. We are starting our top of descent now, as we are not very far away from the airport. The airport currently, we are 104 nautical miles from San Francisco. So by the time you go into your top of descent, we'll be down on the ground. It's getting a little bit choppy now. They're really jumping, aren't they? There's the top of descent. Throttles are now at retard, idle. Again, because the anti-ice is on, we'll have 3% N1 power on top of our idle thrust. So with the wind, it's getting quite choppy. Still in VNAV path, so it's still following the vertical deviation. Oh yeah, we'll be down on the ground, probably at the gate by the time you start your top of descent, mate. So we'll do the descent checklist. So descent checklist, anti-ice which is on and checked, landing altitude which is set for 0 for 13 feet, recall which is checked and cleared, radio altimeter for the barrow, 213 for a 200 foot decision, again 13 feet for the elevation. Altimeters passing will be 29889, which are pre-armed and set, and I'll be passing transition altitude. Passing through flight level 277. So it is very choppy. So there's a lot of rough air up here. So again, as you see the servos are disconnected, there'll be a leniency of 10 to 15 knots or so, and then you'll see the servos kick back in for the FMC speed. Because we're losing more power than we need to descent, that's why they're dropping. So there's the FMC speed back in. So the servos are connected back. So now we can carry on and the aircraft will get back up to its speed. Speed brake's going to be armed. And just start switch to continuous. -11 currently outside as we descend. Okay, there we are. As we find it, we're 242. Re-update the meters, just have a quick look, see if they've been updated. Okay, so still 29089, which is in. Okay, weather's now calmed down on the speed. That's gone down from 120 down to 60 knots now as we pass through flight level 229. And there's Sepin. Do you know what? That's a good point, mate. What we'll do is we will arrange a group flight, and I'll turn the multiplayer on, and we can all do a flight live on the channel. All you guys can be there for it. Yeah, we'll arrange something, definitely, 100%. Possibly flight level 200 now. Passing 18, we'll then switch QNHs back over as we approach down into San Francisco. We'll then switch to 334 and into 300 for follow-up, which will roll all the way up. Yeah, we'll do a group flight, probably use the group option, so then everybody can, that wants to join in for the group flight, we don't get ram-packed with people starting on the runways, etc. So yeah, that'd be a good idea, mate, yeah. I'm going to look into that. We can arrange a group flight. I'll leave it on the community post. Everyone who's coming in for it can leave a comment, and you can all be live on the stream. And we can see all of your antics and your landing skills. If I get down before you, and I'll set up a plane spotting mode, and I'll capture you all coming in and see what yous are all like. There's 0 now on the temperature, plus 10, we'll get the anti-ice off. Passing through 18,000, 29089, which is set and checked. .334. Yeah, which is checked. I reckon it'll be a good crack. I'll definitely arrange something. I'll try and arrange something for the weekend, so that everybody can attend up there. There's the 334 track, the right hand turn. I reckon it'll be interesting. But we'll definitely set it up in a group mode, so then everybody from the channel that wants to jump in, they can come for the ride. "10,000 feet, landing lights, runway turn-offs and taxis will switch on to get on in the bay." I'm not sure if we can get the GSX in just yet, probably when we get down on the ground, so I'll leave that one for now. Flight recorder replay system can come in. Okay, 5-second pause once that kicks in. Okay, there we go, Sim's back. Oh, is it? How comes? What happened? Sometimes if you disconnect your mic and then put it back in, it can knock the sound out. Okay, when we come in, we'll do a outside view of the cinematics, and then I'll do a ring view of the actual approach coming in, so you guys can see the lovely views down into San Francisco. Passing through 13,005. Make a left-hand turn to 330. Okay, switch the ILSs over now. Oh really? Hope you get it back, mate. Done that big old long flight and you ain't got no sound now. You know, that'd be really disappointing. 1,800 feet. Hopefully you do get it back in though. Hopefully, if not, it's going to have to be a silent one, mate. So on for the descent, passing transition altitude, the altimeter descent, which is spun at 2989. Speed 250 under 10,000 feet, which we're just approaching now, which the aircraft's going to hold back for. Probably might jump out into VNAV speed, it might not. Passenger signs which are on, landing lights which will go on and checked. We'll get them all now, so we'll have to go back up overhead to do that. For the approach checklist, the altimeters will be checked, so we'll get the approach checklist once we get down to flaps 15 gear down. Okay, speed brakes can be open now. Steep descent after follow, which is fine. Okay, so follow it's going to be 8,000 above, and then down to 6,000 for Eddie. FMC's warned us of a steep descent. Passing through 9003. If we need the speed brakes again, then we'll whip them open. Yeah, it's a strange one, mate. I'm not sure why that's happened. I was with 8008 now. Phonics at 8000 above. Eddie is at full 6000, so it'll be a quick drop down. Yeah, sometimes them things happen. You know, it's just annoying things to happen, mate. So, winds are rocking as we're ready to jump over the bay, take that left hand turn. So yeah, stay tuned when we do touch down. We'll jump into a gate and then we'll get the approaching of the outside view and the wing view of the approach, so you guys can see that on the flight recorder replay system, as it is quite choppy, so it's going to be a choppy arrival. So there's descent down to 6000, FMC speed 10 knots, so we'll get an extra 3% in power less. As you see them drop back now, the anti-ice is off, which will just help us out a little bit more. Say on to 2502423 for Seppin. So Seppin's 10 nautical miles out. So cabin crew, take your seats for arrival. Yeah, just in time, mate. Just in time. Okay, just creeping on to 250 for 24, then to 239. So speed brakes are armed now. Yeah, that's it, mate. You just have to do that, wouldn't you? So 240 to Seppins, 2% after Eddie. Eddie we've already passed. There's a decel point for 23 to 195. So speed tape's going to start to drop. Under 250 we can go to flaps 5. Localizers in, get the localizer for now. That's 5, which will go in. There's the runways which are in sight. We now have speeds in. 3000 for Seppin. Okay, continue to descend down. So, where the vertical deviation's gone, we're going to VNAV speed. We don't want it to go into VNAV speed, we want it to be in VNAV path to take us down. So we need to recapture the deviation. Under 210 we go to flaps 10. Okay, there's a localizer. 3005, drop a little lower, 1300, go down to flaps 15, gear down, speed windows back open, vertical deviations coming back up now. That was set on our approach speed. We've got 15152. 1800 feet. The approach can come in now. Ready for when the glide slope lifts for it to level. There's level change. Flaps 15 can come in now. Okay, so for the approach checklist, we've got our set, the altimeter which is set for 2989, which is set in cross check, localized frequency of course which is checked, the approach is armed and glide slope is live, gear down, flaps 15 which is set, speed brake which is armed and checked, engine starts which is continuous, landing flaps to be set. So we can go down now into a flaps 30. .152 which is in, fully configured by 5 nautical miles, and flaps 40. So flaps 30, that's where we're staying. We'll go to flaps 40. And for the landing checklist, go around altitude will be set for 3,000 feet. Okay, which is checked. Runway turn off lights and everything which is all on and checked. Landing gear down, autopilot and auto thrust as required. So we are fully set to come in now. So I take a little long one here and get down nice and early. Recall is clear. So my aircraft, autopilot disconnected, and I have control of the aircraft now. On 5.3, so we pull back the throttles, we compensate with a little bit of nose up so we don't lose a little bit more on the descent. 800 feet per minute. Minor corrections. Okay, minimums continue.
100. 50. 30. 10.
Okay, speed brakes are up. And reversers are active. Full pressure on the column. And decel. Knots, reversers can be stowed, manual braking, and we'll turn off here to go back to stand. So welcome to San Francisco, guys. Thanks, Tubbs. If I say so myself, I think that was a nice smooth landing actually. I did enjoy that one. Flaps 30 is always a lot more nicer. You don't get that extra bit of drag on the idle once you idle thrust. Hey, flaps can be fully retracted now. Speed brake can go up. Okay, we just beat you to it, base. Literally just beat you to it, mate. So there's a crossover 28 left. Then we'll get the strobes off. Then we'll park up at the gate, and I'll show you guys the lovely arrival of San Francisco. Okay. So, water brake can be turned off and checked. Terrain can go off. Runway turn off lights. Strobes to steady, which is also set and checked. I'm going to roll into stand. Could have gone left to right there, but we'll just take it in here. For now, I'm just going to park up anywhere so we can get the landing cinematics in. So I'll park over here. I'm going to put the APU on as I don't want it to disrupt the flight recorder replay system. Obviously here we are with United. We're taxiing their gate today. We're taking their gate. Hey BK, thanks my man. That was quite a nice smooth one, wasn't it? If you want to see smooth ones like that all the time, subscribe to the channel. We'll try and find some rocky weather on the next flight, so we can really get a battering. Might have to go over to Asia as well. I might go to so parking brakes on and set, which is checked. I'm going to turn off everything. I'm going to put the landing lights back on so they can all stay in, and the strobes so that they can be in for when we put the replay back on. So let's just pause that. Let's get the replay up to load. So it's 20 past, okay. Let's open that up. Let's have a look at the arrival. So we'll do an outside view of the arrival, and we'll also do a wing view as well. I'll show you guys the wing view too. So let's go and get in the arrival outside view, and then we'll go in and get it all done. Thanks for joining today guys, do appreciate the support. Let's just lift her up a little bit, bring her out a bit. There we go. Bring her out a bit more. Bring her down just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so we'll do the outside view first, and then we'll have a look inside for a wing view arrival into lovely San Francisco. So I've just got to set the flaps back, so we'll do the outside view first. We'll just go over some of the buildings, and then we'll do the wing view arrival as we fly down over the bay. Set the speed brakes back, otherwise they won't disarm themselves. So enjoy this arrival guys, let's have a look. Yeah, we gave GSX a fly off on this one. Hey, thanks Spitfire. Hope you enjoyed it, mate. Yeah, you give it a good wash. Get the van all ready to go. So we'll do 3 views. We'll do this view, we'll do a wing view, and then we'll have a look at the wheels. See how soft the touchdown was. That was very nice indeed. So let's have a look at the scenery. Let's see what the scenery's saying over the Bay Area of San Francisco as we come in. It's lovely, lovely to see it. And then we'll do the underneath of the undercarriage and see how smooth the wheels came down. So we've just got to go into the cockpit. If you don't reset the speed brake and arm, it won't actually deploy on the replay system. So there we go. Here's the replay in on the wing view. So catch some lovely views of the scenery of San Francisco Bay. Took off the Fly Live, the overlay. Just don't want that popping up whilst we're doing this bit. And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Become a community member, as I'll be doing these live flights all the time. I'm going to be going over to Japan, try and catch some rough weather, and I'll be looking over in the USA now for some new flights, some new world op flights. So all flights that are live streams, they are real world operational flights. They're not just made up. Yeah, some of the scenery is really nice, isn't it, Tubbs? It is really, really nice. You have to appreciate this sim, you know, because it really does deliver. So once the wing view comes down, we'll go under the undercarriage and see how the touchdown was. It was a very smooth arrival too. It was a nice descent down onto the final. Yeah, when you've got a little bit of dirt there, it makes it look like it's a proper worn-in aircraft. I do agree with you, mate. So here we go, we start seeing the leading lights. I did have VR, but it makes me feel ill, so I can't actually fly with the VR. I did have a go in the next plane. It's amazing, it's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable in VR, but it just gives me motion sickness, so I had to get rid of it, unfortunately. Had an Oculus Rift 2, or Oculus Rift S, sorry. There we go, down she comes. Yeah, me and VR, they don't mix. I was excited, really excited when I got the VR, but yeah, it just gives me motion sickness, makes me feel really ill after I've done it. Probably had to build up the tolerance, but yeah, it's not. It wasn't very nice. Okay, so let's go on to the undercarriage and see what we can do. Maybe on showcase. Not sure which one it will be. Let's go down from 13. Should get a back view. That'll do us. So let's have a look at it from the wheel perspective and see what it was like. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys now. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to see more flights, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell button so you never miss a flight. Back same time tomorrow around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And I will see you soon for the next available flight on the channel. I'll leave a community post later on where you want to go on the USA for tomorrow. And which airline also. So stay safe. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're having a great new year. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.